Still Life Abandoned Objects is the seventh contest of the Better Photography Weekly Challenge. Winners stand to receive exciting prizes on behalf of our gifting partner, Digitek. The smartphone category winner will receive a Digitek ring light DRL 18H worth 5,995 rupees. The bicolor LED ring light has a special LED assembly design that incorporates 240 pieces of LED bulbs and a hot shoe adapter. The DSLR category winner will receive a Digitek Tripod DTR 500ph worth 4,995 rupees. It is a lightweight tripod meant for professionals and is suitable to use with DSLRs and small camcorders. The Still Life Abandoned Objects contest of the Better Photography Weekly Challenge, our mentor judge is Vinod Babu Venkapalli. He is an independent photographer based in Hyderabad who holds a post-grad degree in environmental engineering and worked in a consulting firm before quitting the job to pursue photography. He was part of the curatorial team for Indian Photography Festival in 2015 and 2016. He was also part of the jury for the World Street Photography Competition in 2018 for the Workers category. Furthermore, he is a recipient of the Total Photography Award 2019 and is presently a member of the 13 Jara Collective. Vinod, would you like to take over?
Yeah, hi Tanvi and everyone at Better Photography. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to judge still life and abandoned objects. And this is also a space where I'm moving to, and that's why it was more interesting when you told me to take over this, because I'm really done shooting people, I think. And I also realized that shooting abandoned objects gives me a kind of solace. So for me, what happened was. This is this is my old picture from my series called Refugees in Homeland.
Okay.
So I wanted to start with this picture, showing this picture where like the entire village had to be displaced and they all left, but I think they just left the photograph right there. And yeah, so abandoned, I wanted to start with giving out a definition of abandoned, because abandoned is like, it has many definitions. So one of it is left without needed protection, care or support. Second one is left by the owner. Third is left to fall into a state of disuse. Fourth one is no longer held or thought of, given up. So like this fourth one is actually something that I shot in these couple of days. So like when like I actually think like a year back, I started doing a personal project, and I asked my mother, like, do you have something of mine, of my childhood? Then she came up with such a big box of things, including my toys, so many things that I forgot. Like, you know, for me they were abandoned, but for her they were very close to her heart, and it's actually something that she holds on to when I'm not there, when I keep moving cities or something. So like it's extremely precious for her. And till I'm 28, 29, I totally forgot that they exist in the house. So I just made some pictures for you, for all of you to see. So these are the pictures of those. Everything, like, you know, when I was born, my granny has stitched something on the day that I was born. Even that was preserved. So many things were preserved. And when I was a child, I used to hug this bunny and cry a lot when I was lonely. So like she preserved everything, and she also tells long stories about each of the toy. And I love pets, especially dogs. And because we live in an apartment and my parents are like, they have to go to their jobs, and we don't have any caretaker, so I could never have a pet. So like this is an object that is very close to me. This is the first time I actually gathered all the pocket money and I got a dog home, and then eventually I had to return it back. So I got all the accessories, and only this little chain is left. uh, so this is something of mine. So I wanted to show 4 different bodies of work which all fall under abandoned objects. So this is Gigi Sifali. So he's a London-based artist, and his work Absence of Water was actually shown in Indian Photography Festival, and that's when I came to know about it. I've also added the websites of all the photographers so that any one of you are interested, then you can go and check their websites too. So what he did was like he shot abandoned swimming pools in London. So what interests me about these pictures is also how he has chosen the square format and how he has shot them, but also the little details that he gives about the dimensions, the depth, the attendance per day, when it was opened, closed, and reopened. So I actually started practicing a lot about writing text along with photographs, and I think this is one of the best examples for that. So like it actually gives out a lot of information, and it's also very lonely. The pictures are extremely lonely. So this is so I've added some pictures of his. So again, you can see he writes everything down as a caption: the place, the dimension, depth, attendance, and when it was opened and when it was closed. And what happened in Indian Photo Festival that year was like there was a lot of rain, and the wall on which they were stuck started seeping. So it looked extremely surreal with water at the back, and then these pictures were there. Uh, and then I wanted to show this work of Klaus Pichler. It's called Dust. Uh, so I've seen this at Delhi Photo Festival in 2015, and this has been my favorite work because I never thought then that dust can be a subject and you can shoot dust. So he recently even published a photo book on dust. So this is dust that he collected from an army shop. So like as soon as you read it, you start understanding the greens, the ochre yellows and stuff, and then you understand like, okay, it's an army shop. And then it's cafe number 2. And like and like dust in dust, there's lost lot to process and get lost. So like you can actually see and you can understand like, oh, maybe this is from there. So every part of particle of dust has a story. So I actually thought of including this because abandoned objects, we often overlook many things in life, and let there be dust at home, let there be dust at anywhere. Like anything abandoned can become so beautiful to shoot. And what I really like about his work is how he has even arranged them together in a circular form, and shot them so well in like more like a studio based setup. So this is another image where he shows the pet shop dust. Then there is another image which talks about the bed articles store. I really love the colors of what he photographed. And then this is the flat from which he has collected the dust. So that's it. And then we have Kaushik Vasudevan. He's a very dear friend of mine. So he's done this work fragments about these vehicles that have been abandoned. So like vehicles are very, very precious to us when we buy them, and when they're of no use, they're just abandoned. So like he shot this in Nepal. Uh, this has been very close to me, and I really like such kind of work where there's no people, there's like an absence of something, and also the way he has shot makes you feel that they've been really abandoned. And I'm a big hoarder, so I have all my cell phones that I've used, all many things that I've used. So for me, abandoning is like very difficult. And also I actually think the slowness of shooting actually adds a lot to these projects. Like it's not just like go snap and take a picture and go. So it's like really staying there, looking at it, and then taking a picture, maybe setting it on a tripod, maybe doing long exposures. It's extremely beautiful how these all artists do this work of abandonment. This is a recent work of another friend of mine, Kishore. So he's from Hyderabad, a very dear friend. So when he posted this work, I was really blown away because it's during COVID, and these circles that have come into our life, these social distancing circles, which are very weird, uh, and uh, and like these pictures were taken outside the shops where people were queuing in. So I've actually added this to show how abandonment can also be temporary. So I mean, I don't think abandonment should be taken in a very literal sense. So this is a temporary abandonment where people have left their items or their belongings in the circle to reserve a spot because it was sunny. So like they actually went to a much more shadier place to stand. This is one of my favorite works, and it's again I really like how the photographer has shot them and how they have given importance to the circle, the object, and even the color of the road adds so much. So that's with the images. So I wanted to give you a few tips. I want you guys to not take the theme very literally, and also keep yourself to experimentation. You can do anything literally when you start thinking. And also I realize, like, you know, we all know that these are unsafe times, and I think it's totally okay and understood if you don't want to step out. And also I would rather suggest you to maybe shoot at home, or maybe in your locality or your colony, or maybe in your apartment. You I mean, there's a lot to the word abandoned object. And also, if you're willing to use text, and if you think the photographer, the story demands it, please feel free to use it. But don't overload the pictures with a lot of text. Maybe it can be a couple of lines that really mean to you, or if you feel that, you know, the photograph really needs some text. And also, the last thing that I wanted to tell you is to think before you shoot and give it your best. I actually attended a workshop in December, and like it was this workshop of staging situations, and I had to go to the mentor Vasif with with a picture every day. So like when I went on to the first day, I with a picture, he said like, okay, it's okay, but I think you can do better. So like I was utterly disappointed. Then I went back, but then I realized like every day it becomes better. So I think like you can really shoot the same picture, or like arrange the same shot and shoot it for 3 days or 2 days, or like give your best. That's what I would say. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all your images. Thanks a lot.